Okay, good morning, all of you.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
So today we'll discuss about networks layer and transport layer. Yesterday we already learned about what's the function of physical layer and data link layer, right? So let's see now what is the main duties of network layer. So we talked about yesterday there are two types of address. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
So we talk about two
Yes,
types of
sir.
address. Yeah. Okay, everything is okay.
Yes, sir.
So yesterday we talked about two types of address. One is physical address or MAC address or hardware address. And another one is IP address, or you can say it's a logical address. So the physical address is assigned by data link layer, and data link layer again have two sub layer, MAC layer and LLC layer. So MAC layer will provide the physical address, right? And the logical address is provided by network layer, not the data link layer. Okay. So once the physical address provided by the data link layer, now the duty of network layer is to provide the logical address, that means the IP address. And as I already mentioned, IP address is not always fixed. It may be changed with the time. Okay, but at a time, every user will get a IP address, not more than one IP address at a time. Once you log in using, or once you give some connection to the networks, you will get one IP address, not more than one IP address at a time. Okay. So the main duty of network layers, I already mentioned that the is provide the logical address. It is written in the first line. Networks layer from an imaginary or logical path to transfer data, which is termed as virtual circuit. It always provides switching and routing technology. In the first class itself, I mentioned about the routing. Yes, routing is nothing but path selection. And what do you mean by switching? Switching actually path selection. Routing means you are selecting the best path. Okay, among so many paths, you have to select the shortest path. But what are the paths in the networks, and where the data have to be sent will done by the switching technique. We learn after 2 3 class what is switching. Okay, these two technologies define how data to be transmitted and forwarded from one system to other on the networks. Obviously, then this layer manage logical address, that means the IP address in the packets that are essential to transmit information to the desired destination. The logical address scheme used in network layer is termed as IP address. I already told you about this. Okay, so IP address is nothing but a logical address which is uniquely identify a device in the networks. If I have to define IP address, how will define? IP address will be defined like this. IP address is a unique number which will uniquely identify a network device in a network. Okay, that means it will identify a device in the networks. Every network device has a IP address at a time. Okay, for example, if I need to send a letter to you to your home, obviously I'll collect your PIN numbers and your rest of the details. Same way, when you need to send something in the networks, you need to know about the receiver IP address. Once you know the receiver IP address, then only you can send the data, okay, to that address. So IP address is a logical address. Why it's logical? Because we will not see, we only logically think, yeah, there is a number is assigned to our PC at that time. But physical address, yesterday I told about this. MAC address you can see in, if you see the NIC card, you will get that numbers. But IP address you cannot see in the hardware. It's a logical. Got it? Okay. So we are talking about the form of data. In the physical layer, data was what? Bit stream, right? And the data, when it comes to data link layer, what is known as, anyone want to say?
The frame.
Frame, yeah, framing. So when it comes to data link layer, it becomes frames. Now those frame becomes packet. That means more than one frames if you collect, is it becomes packet. Yes. So in the physical layer, all data will was in bit 1111. Now we'll combine some of the bit to make frame. Now in data in networks layer, those frames you have to collect some of the frames and you have to make one packet. That means the network layers collect those frames and make some packets. Okay, got it? Any doubt?
One more than one frame
I'm not hearing you properly.
is termed as packets. More than one packets are termed as more than one frames are termed as packets.
Yeah, collection of frames now. If I compare with the courier system of our this one business, Flipkart, Amazon, whatever. Okay, so those they will do what? They will collect one bit. I can say one parcel from any dealers. Okay, from maybe from Sanmari one, they will collect one packet from Sanmari, one packet from Ganeshguri, one packet from some Ambai, like that. But once it's reached to their courier service headquarter, they will obviously combine all these three packets in one packet and they'll send it to other city, right? So that is nothing but the, you can compare with this. It was earlier one small unit in the physical layer. Then once it reached to the next higher level, it's become frame. Now those frame will collect and make it some packet. Is it clear? Anyone, any doubt up to this about networks, their duties and how it performs these things? And in the diagram you can see, so data now coming from what? Data link layer to transport layer. Yes. So data earlier was in data link layer. Now in the sender side, it will move to transport layer, from networks layer to transport layer. And in the receiver side, from transport layer to networks layer. Sorry, transport layer to network layer, then network layer to data link layer. Yes, diagram is clear to you, and whatever I thought about IP address, packet, switching, everything is clear to you. Any doubt? Yes, no? Any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. So we're discussing about networks layer. The main duty of network layer is IP addressing, switching, okay, and routing. Okay. So see this. I already mentioned about the logical addressing, nothing but IP address. Each and every device in the network will get one logical address. Okay, and that logical address has some headers. It add a header and send to the upper layer. Now, what is the meaning of header? Header is nothing but the rules. That means the protocol. So how about this protocol term? That term I think you already know. Protocol is nothing but set of rules. So each and every layer have some rule, obviously, its own rule. Okay. For example, the rule of networks layer is to route, decide path. Okay. Those things will be added with the original packet. Original packet have what? Only the message what we are trying to send from sender to the receiver. Now, once it reaches each and every layer will be adding one extra things with that original packet, and then it will move forward to the next layer. That extra things what they added is known as the header file or header format. Okay, so we'll come to know these things I think in the networks in details, computer networks. So as of now, you should know what is header. Header is nothing but the extra information of the rules of each and every layer adding with that original message is known as header. Is it clear? Header is nothing but some extra rule or extra things added by each and every layer with the original data. It's called encapsulation of data sometimes. Encapsulate means combine the original data and rules of each layer, and then it will send to the next layer. Any doubt? Any doubt?
No, sir.
Header is clear. What is header? It's written thus this layer adds a header to packet received means the original data from upper layer and translate logical networks address into the physical address. And that is you already know physical address will translate by the data nuclear. So when we need to send a packet, the packet will have the physical address as well as the logical address. Okay. So those things will be in the header format. And routing already you know what is routing. Routing is nothing but selection of the base path among lots of path you have. You have to select the base path, that is your routing. Okay. So this is all about your networks layer. Now we'll learn about transport layer. Is there any doubt anyone can ask about these three layers already we discussed? Physical layers, data link layers, and network layer. I'm waiting for your response if you have any doubt.
In network layer, the logical address is converted into physical address or what? Or it is in
Actually, to the conversion is done. Physical address already provided in the data link layer. Okay.
yeah.
There is some other, I will discuss later. There is some other protocol, they are known as RARP and ARP. There's two protocol in network layer. Okay, they will convert ARP, address resolution protocol. Address resolution protocol will convert the logical address into physical address. To for actual communication, obviously the network have to know the physical address, because physical address is the address of the NIC card. That means he have to know the address of the NIC card. Okay, so in a NIC card there may be lots of IP address. As I already mentioned, IP address may be sense. Okay, but the physical address, that means the NIC card address, always fixed, not sense. So for actual communication, when you need to send one packet, that packet must have the IP address, physical address, and that will find out by a protocol of networks layer, ARP, address resolution protocol. In the other side, that means on the receiver side, that from physical to logical address will find out by another protocol, that is called reverse address resolution protocol. Reverse address resolution protocol, RARP. We'll discuss this protocol later on. TCP, all these things. Any doubt, anyone? Good question. That one. Is it clear, Biswajit, who asked the question? Is it clear to you? No doubt. Can I move forward to transport layer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So data now in networks layer is become packet. So once it reaches those packet in transport layer, it becomes segment. Okay, data in transport layer is now known as segments. Okay, and the main function of transport layer is to send data in reliable and unreliable delivery from a source to the destination. As in the first class I mentioned, the main function of transport layer is nothing but what? Transport. That means I have given the example of bike, bus, all these things. Okay, so how will, with the help of what you will send those data from one place to another? That this actual movement is now starting from the transport layer, not in the earlier cases. Everything before transport layer, it is in your own computer, but now the data is ready to move from one place to another. Yes, because now you will start the bike, not earlier. Any doubt?
Sir, repeat once again.
Actual movement of data is from transport layer. As I have given the example of bike, bus in the first class. Okay, so once the data is ready, that means we have decided the path. You have what? You collect it into make into frames. Then you collect the error, whatever, everything you done. Now you are ready to send the data by using a bike or a bus or some others vehicle. Okay, that means the movement will start from transport layer. That's why the main function of transport layer is to reliable and unreliable delivery of data from source to destination. What do you mean by reliable? now? Any idea about reliable communication, reliable delivery, reliable what? Term reliable means what? Yes, Shubham Nath. What do you mean by reliable?
Reliable, something say like long lasting, or we can rely, means we can have faith in it.
Paid, yeah, paid. Paid in it. Trust. You can say trust. Anyone want to say? Someone trying to say something. Reliable means you can trust. हम लोग क्लास रिप्रेजेंटेटिव किसको बनाता है नॉर्मली? तुम लोग का स्टूडेंट में से जो कभी एक दिन आया क्लास में, नेक्स्ट दिन नहीं आता है, और नेक्स्ट दिन आता है और 2 दिन नहीं आता है, उसको बनाता है, या वी ट्राइंग टू मेक ए रेगुलर स्टूडेंट एज ए क्लास रिप्रेजेंटेटिव? रेगुलर जो बीच बीच में गायब हो जाता है उसको बनाता है. किसको बनाता है? Regular. Why? Because we can trust that he will come tomorrow or day after next day. Okay? If I'll make a irregular student as a class teacher, but then we cannot trust that he will come tomorrow or in that next week or not. So we cannot rely on that person who is irregular in the class. Right? That means once I have given something to that person, he must have to deliver or must have to submit that things. Okay? Is it clear? That means reliable means faith or trust. Okay. So in transport layer, there are two main protocol. One is known as TCP, Transmission Control Protocol, and another one is UDP, User Datagram Protocol. One is like that regular student and another one is like irregular student, which we cannot trust. Or if I submit something, he may submit or may not be. That is irregular student. That is UDP, and the regular student is TCP. Is it clear to you? Try to
Yes, sir.
communicate. Okay. Is it clear? TCP I am comparing with the regular student, that means the class representative is okay. He have the ability to be a class representative as he is a regular student and I can trust him. Okay. And UDP is a irregular student whom I cannot trust because he may come or may not come. Okay. But he is not a bad student, but I cannot trust. He have also some what I can say ability. He may not be come into a class, but he have some other ability. He can do all other things. Maybe he play some cricket, football, volleyball, whatever. But he is not in coming into the university. Okay, he have some extra talent. Clear? Is it clear to you? That's why I'm comparing that is irregular student and it is unreliable. Since he is not coming to university regularly. And that's why I cannot trust him. Okay, so these two protocol, one is reliable protocol and one is unreliable protocol. TCP is a reliable protocol and UDP is unreliable protocol. So if we talk about in terms of computer networks, why TCP is reliable means once you send something using TCP protocol, you can sure that the receiver will must receive that packet. Are you getting my point? Once you use TCP protocol to send something from the sender to the receiver, you sure after sending you sure that that packet definitely get by the receiver. Is it clear to you? Any doubt? Tell me.
Yes, sir.
Okay. On the other hand, if you use UDP, that means the unreliable protocol. Once you send the packet or once you hand over the packet to UDP, you cannot say, you cannot guarantee that the receiver will get that packet. He may be get or may not be because UDP is unreliable protocol. I cannot trust him, but I will definitely use that also for some other purpose. Like the student who is irregular, maybe I will use for to attend some cricket match in some other university or some other tournament. He have that talent, okay? So UDP also must required you for some other purpose. But if I compare to the class, I will not take UDP as a serious student. Okay, got it?
আজি গোটেইখন ঠিক ঠাক কৰি থৈছো LRB ও
Any doubt?
No, sir.
100% clear to you all? TCP and UDP difference. And next, I want to add TCP is a reliable, connection oriented reliable protocol. I am adding one extra word in before reliable. Connection oriented. And connection oriented. What do you mean by connection oriented? TCP is a connection oriented reliable protocol. Any idea what is the meaning of connection oriented reliable? Anyone want to add something on it? I'm waiting for response.
The mode of communicating with the networks.
Okay. Anyone want to add more? Connection oriented.
Can communicate in an organized way.
Okay. Did you send any parcel using speed post, register post in post office? Did you use speed post, register post?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No one. No one used speed post, register post.
I did.
Yeah, who did?
I used.
Okay, yeah. When you register something or use speed post, you will get a slip from the post office, right? With a number, tracking number. Or that is you can compare with the courier also. DTDC you read DTDC anyone? Blue Dart DTDC courier service. You are businessman or what? Faisal?
Yes, I used.
Okay, good. So can you tell me the process? How you send a parcel using the TDC and what they did, what they sent to you, or what are the document they have given to you, and how will receive that document?
Whenever, so whenever we need to something, so we go there and they just make weight of the parcel. What
Okay,
is the weight, and then they packet it and give us a receipt with a
okay.
tracking number.
Yeah, with a tracking number. And using that tracking number, at any time you can see whether your packet reach in which place. Suppose you are sending a packet from Guwahati to Mumbai. Tomorrow, if you check, you will get to know where your packet reach now. It may be from Guwahati to Calcutta, maybe. Okay, you will see that my packet is now in Calcutta. Okay, in the next day, if you see, it may move from Calcutta to some other city. That means all the time you can get connected with that packet, with that parcel, what you had sent yesterday. Okay, that is the connection oriented. All the time you can know, you can get, you can search the packet, and once it reaches to destination, okay, and it will be right in your tracking details that packet delivered. Okay, got it? And
Yes,
if
sir.
you and if you use mail, everyone use mail. Want to send a mail, that mail server give a reply, send, or sometime pending or whatever. You have something. Yes. So those are example of TCP. So connection oriented means after sending, you will get one acknowledgement whether the receiver received or not. Okay. If he is not received, you have to again send. That means once you send the packet, you'll wait for the acknowledgement. If you get that acknowledgement, that means you see that the packet reached to that destination. Yes. So those things in the TCP, not in UDP. And that's why we'll call UDP is a connectionless unreliable protocol. You got my point? UDP is a connection less unreliable protocol. TCP is a connection oriented reliable protocol. In TCP, you will get some acknowledgement after send the message, but in UDP, you will not get any acknowledgement. You can compare it with normal post. If you send a letter in the box, there is a in the roadside there are some post office box. You can put the letter in the box. It will move. You may maybe the receiver may get after 20 years later also that letter you had sent today. Okay, so you cannot guarantee that receiver received that packet because there is no connection after send that packet after post that packet. So you'll not know about the packet where the packet actually it is in. Okay, got it? The two difference of TCP and UDP is clear to you? Hope it's clear to you. It is written here
Yes.
transport layer provide transparent data transfer between the end devices and control flow of the packet. This layer is responsible for ensuring complete data transfer for end-to-end and error recovery. Okay. This is in transport layer. Sometimes some error recovery also there. That means if you send a packet, if you not get the acknowledgement, you may need to send the packet again. That is the error recovery. And the layer is concerned with process to process delivery. What do you mean by process to process? It's nothing but process means what? You can say application. You may have lots of application. For example, you may have FTP application, HTTP application, Telnet application. So from one process to another process, message delivery is done by transport layer. So in the diagram I did mistake here. I am writing packet, but it should be segment. So when you write your node in transport layer, instead of packet, you write here segment. Okay, not done by me. I am copy from somewhere else. They did mistake. Okay, so when you draw the diagram, you make it segment, not packet. So data is in transport layer is now in segment. I already mentioned. Any doubt up to this? So details of functions, flow control, error control also done in transport layer. And segmentation and reassembling is the main thing in transport layer. Segmentation I already mentioned. Packets combined into if you talk about in the receiver side, packet will break down obviously. That is the segment. Big packet will separate into smaller packet. They are writing in terms of receiver side. In the layer, segments are formatted by dividing the message. Why they are writing message here? Because in the session layer, the packet will be known as message. That's why they are writing here message. Any doubt?
No, sir.
If no doubt, then we'll go to next session. How many of you joined Google Classroom? I had sent yesterday the code. Some of you not joined, I think, yet. 10 or 16 to 10 I have seen. Those who have not joined, please join by today. We'll send assignment, everything, class note, everything on this Google Classroom. So next layer is your session layer. Go through this paragraph and you ask me if you have any doubt. Go through everyone this paragraph. Understood? Yeah, explain. Who will explain first what you understood from this paragraph?
The user, as soon as the means communication process is completed, it allows us the user to means to
Okay.
manage the connection between the between the
Two,
application.
yeah, two application. It establish, manage,
Sir,
and terminate. Yeah, continue. It's
then
establish. Yeah.
it also helps to it also looks after token management
Token management, that means that yes,
and
let's say I mentioned about the ring topology. That is token management. Who will use the device or the application at up to what time? That is the token management. Yeah, continue.
so it also means it also looks after means two devices or two parties from accessing the operations means one after another,
Yeah, yeah,
and it helps in synchronizing the interaction between those devices.
yeah. Very good. Anyone want to add something? Everyone have to say okay. Since this time no physical class, I have to give internal marks also. Here's a marks for class behavior. You know, since I not meet, I don't know what's the behavior of you. So I'll judge from this only. When I ask something, you have to reply. That means you have to communicate with me. That is your class behavior this time. Okay. So try to speak something when I ask. If you not understood, definitely I will explain. Yes or no? All the time when you have doubt, I will try to explain again. So your class behavior is only these things this time. Assignment you will submit, no problem. Exam also will be appearing, but there's no communication in between you and me. I don't know how you are in the class. So if you speak something, then I'll got to know that oh you are attentive, or I will think you are sleeping. That is the two option. You are say something when I ask something, then I will think that you are attentive. You are attending the class with 100%, but you are not answering anything. That means you are sleeping, you are eating, whatever. I don't know you what you are doing now. Yeah, want to add something? So mainly, session layer will do what? Establish the connection between the sender and receiver. Once he establish, he manage hold the connection, and once you have completed your task, you will terminate the connection. That means the session. I'm talking about the whole session. This is my session is going on for 45 minutes. Okay, I connected by clicking you are clicking join. I'm creating, I'm connected, then I am managing whatever I have to do. I have to talk with you everything I'm doing. Once it is over, I'll terminate, I'll cut the session. That's it. And you'll manage the token management is nothing but who will use that device up to what time. Those will be handled by the session layer. So data obviously will come from the next layer presentation up to you'll go to the presentation layer from session layer is in the receiver side from presentation to the session layer and then transport layer. Okay, this is clear. So these are the
Yes, sir.
and synchronization obviously there are so many user will be waiting to access the device. Who will use at what time? All these things handled by the session layer. That means it will synchronize the things. The main thing is the dialog controller. You may call it this one, token management. Okay. Any doubt? Presentation lab
Yes, sir.
discuss in the next class.
Okay, sir.
So what we discussed till date from the first class, we can you explain what we discussed from the first class to till today's class?